Hello, welcome to whatever this is. My name is Patrick, and in this video series, we're going to be talking about ways to better design your scientific research poster. So like I said, my name is Patrick. I'm currently a graduate student getting a PhD in a science field, but as an undergrad, I got a bachelor's degree in information design. So in an attempt to justify spending 4 years and a lot of money, I'll now be sharing some things I learned with you, especially in relation to how to create a better academic research poster. And through these videos, the goal is really to use design principles to make it easier for an audience to understand your research and also making them a little bit more beautiful in the process. So this video series is going to be half design theory, in which we discuss a concept from design and how it's relevant to a research poster. And between each of these theory videos, I'll walk you through a tutorial and actually utilizing those design concepts to make your poster easier to use and hopefully a little bit prettier as well. So in the tutorials, I will be using Adobe InDesign, which is Adobe's layout program, and it is a program that professional designers would use to create a poster. And so because of that, it has all the tools you could possibly need to create an amazing poster. The downside is that it has a bit of a learning curve compared to programs like PowerPoint you might be more familiar with already. But once you get over that hump, you'll realize that it's a lot easier to actually create an amazing poster in this program because that's what it's designed to do. Really, probably the biggest downside to Adobe InDesign is that it's expensive, and so if your institution doesn't give you access to it for free, it might be out of your price range. However, a lot of research institutions like a university will provide you with the Adobe Creative Cloud, which includes InDesign for free, and if that's the case, it's definitely worth using. So these videos will be focused on design and not so much the content of a research poster. So each subfield and discipline within science is going to have different requirements for what they want on your research poster. So we won't be getting into that, but whatever your content requirements are, you can use these design principles to create an easier to use poster. So before we get into the tutorials, I want to point out that design is not just about making things look pretty and fancy and colorful, which are all kind of graphic design elements, but you should really think about creating a poster the way that an engineer would create a chair or that a website designer would create a website. It has to start with the user experience. If you create something that's not very functional, no one's going to want to use it no matter how pretty it is. The cardinal sin of any design is using graphic elements that actually hinder the usability of whatever it is you're making. And if you do that, more than likely you're going to end up with your ass on the floor and no one's going to want to interact with whatever you've created. So the way to avoid committing this cardinal sin is just keep the goal of what you're doing in mind at all times. And for almost all research posters, it's going to be for your audience to easily understand your research. So by not thinking about how the audience is going to interact with your poster, not actively doing things to make it easier for them to do so, you can easily fall into the trap of making design decisions that actually make it harder for your audience to find your cool results or understand your interesting conclusions. Design elements like color and typography and shapes and pictures can all be used to service this goal. A lot of times, researchers use design elements just to give a poster personality. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you should strive to have a poster with a bunch of personality because it'll be much more memorable. But that personality should never come at the cost of the usability of that poster. So I know that there's this urge to put a really nice, bright photo as a background for your poster because you think it's going to catch the eye of everybody. And that might be the case, but when people actually approach your poster to interact with it, they're going to realize that it's really hard to read the text over top of that bright photograph. And at worst, you'll scare them away and they won't want to interact with your poster at all. And at best, they'll have to struggle through actually reading your text when you could have made it a lot easier for them to get that information by sacrificing your cool photo background. I will end this video with this, my favorite meme ever, as a reminder that as I talk about all these rules and guidelines and things you shouldn't do design-wise, not to let that stifle your creativity. And if you want to do something and you've decided that it doesn't actually interfere with the user experience, then go for it. Sometimes these rules are made to be broken, and the most beautiful things can be created when you do so purposefully. So the next video is going to be a tutorial on how to set up an InDesign document and place all your content that you're going to need for your research poster. Bye!